Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Beer Bros, the podcast. Like always, we have Morpheus, the king of the red pill and the blue pill.
Hey
And
guys.
today we got a special guest star. We got Nick and Chris from Marvel Talk.
Hey
On-
guys.
Hello.
Hey guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this is
You're
great.
welcome.
So now today I want to end up. This is a big one: Marvel versus DC.
This is so biased for us. This is the kind of unfair advantage over here.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna try and be fair, but I make no promises.
All right. If there was a ultimate super team, Marvel and DC, who would win it?
Okay,
Five
this
versus
is really.
five versus five.
Who are the fives? Who are like
You
the,
get to pick.
okay. Ooh. All right, for Marvel, here are my fives. Ready? I'm gonna go with my five Marvel right here. It's gonna be Iron Man, Captain America, Wolverine, Deadpool, and Spider-Man.
All right, you had to say
Those-
Deadpool in there. If you didn't say Deadpool, I was really about to be like,
Yo, you gotta have the Merc with the.
Yeah.
and Wolverine. You gotta have
Yes.
him.
Yes.
As for DC, and this is really where I'm gonna be like I'm gonna hate myself for saying this, but like we got Batman, Superman, we got Green Lantern,
Wonder Woman.
yeah, Wonder Woman, and Harley Quinn. I'm mad because I had to put Superman, and Superman's like OP, so like that's like, oh, but like he has to be, and you can't have Superman. You know what I mean?
So now, who would win that battle?
I have to. You see, I have to go. I'm trying to be really biased, so I have to go with DC just because Superman.
But what about Iron Man? What about if he builds a Kryptonian?
If Iron Man is prepared,
Or what about the adamantium? Do you think they're capable enough to cut Superman?
I mean Superman. I mean I read those Superman comics. That guy's like pretty much invincible. I feel like if Iron Man knew who he was up against and he was like, okay, it's Superman. I'll get Kryptonite. I'll get Green Rock. I'm just gonna throw it around. Like if he's prepared, it's easily the Avengers. It's like Team Marvel. But if it's a unprepared fight, I will have to go with DC on that one.
That's
What about
fair.
you, Chris?
What about you, Chris?
I probably have to agree mostly, but on the DC part, so yeah, keep Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern.
Ooh, maybe add Peacekeeper.
What about Flash?
He just showed up. Oh yes, the Flash.
Yes.
Okay, I
was
gotta
thinking the Flash.
change my. So like, do I have to change mine now? Because like I forgot Peacemaker and Harley Quinn. I know I added Harley Quinn. It was Peacemaker.
You should say Harley.
Yeah, but I love Harley, and she's a wild card too. No, I'm sticking with mine. You don't need Flash is too OP, and Peacemaker is just a lovable douchebag. So I'm keeping my five there.
Oh, did you ever read the original comics for DC and Marvel?
Marvel, yes, I have. DC, the original one I read was like the Batman stuff. And it was only like issues on the digital stuff, like 1 through 5.
Yeah.
That was it. Everything else was more modern.
Oh, okay, because like one time, this was many years ago, I was helping my dad put some comics away, and I had to put them under my bed. Dude, he had so many old comics of Green Lantern, DC, Marvel stuff. And I know, like, even my Uncle Mike said, like, I know, like, very old, especially if you have, like, let's say you have old Marvel and DC stuff comics from, like, the 1970s or 80s, and you never opened them. I heard that they're worth a ton of money.
They are.
Oh yeah, I saw those shop videos of guys just coming in and bringing like these vintage comic books and you get, like a lot from them. They're really cool. I just love the old school style to Marvel too, like with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There was
Amazing
just-
Fantasy 15.
Yeah, there's just something about them. Like it's just vintage. I think that's really what it is. Nostalgic and vintage.
Now,
I think that's
here's,
what makes them really.
here's another question. Who is the most underrated DC superhero and villain?
Ooh. Who's underrated? That's a good question.
Well, you guys
I
know
have
all the
some-
superheroes and villains. This is
I
the
have
type of
some
topic here.
ideas. I have some ideas, but I don't know if you're all gonna like them.
Do you think Damien is an underrated character? Like he's overrated? Because like I don't know. It's hard because like I don't know any real DC characters that I personally feel like are underrated or villain. You know what? Kite Man's underrated. I think he's such an underrated guy.
I mean, I have an
Condom
idea.
King.
So my idea for an underrated hero for me would be there is a guy, but I think he's mentioned in I think he did a team up with other, it was like one of those, he's like one of those B movie like heroes, but they had him do a team up. I think his name was Wiley Cat. He was like a really good boxer and he could do all sorts of kung fu stuff. And he was dressed like a black cat
He
or
was
something.
from the Justice League animated series, right, with Black Canary.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
nothing. And then
Yeah.
you also had, and I felt like what's her name was also a bit of a was a bit under was it what was her name? Oh, what was her? Oh, she did she had some kind of staff and she was covered in like the stripe. I think she had a bunch of stripes and stuff. She had a staff. I forgot her name though.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I also don't remember the name. So we can classify that as like an
Hawkgirl?
underrated character. What about you, Chris?
Zach,
Okay,
is it
so
Hawkgirl?
What?
Is it Hawkowl?
no, she has she has a she has a spike. She has like
Spiky
It's a
ball.
staff.
yeah, yeah.
They did a live action TV show about her a while ago, but like I said, I forgot.
Stargirl.
Stargirl.
Yes,
There you
it's from
go.
CW. The moment you said they did a show, I was like, oh, he's talking about Stargirl. Okay, gotcha.
And now, what do you think the best DC show was? Flash, Green Arrow? Out of those spin-offs.
Oh,
Which one do you think CW
okay.
mastered? And
Here's
there's only
the
one
thing.
right answer.
The Arrowverse, like Arrow. Arrow was the best CW show because the Flash did end on a really sour note, in my opinion. I feel like that dragged on too quickly, so I have to go with Arrow because it was such a great show. It ended nicely, and then like the Flash kind of became the main thing, and then like they just kind of did a whole bunch of shit there, and then like everything went to shit. But like I gotta go with Arrow.
Well, you know what? I agree. Well, I have to say, you know what it is like. You have to also understand, but look at all the other live action DC stuff that they did. Batwoman, Supergirl, and they did, yeah, Flash and Green Arrow. Then there was then you have the DC Legends of
They tried
Tomorrow.
Batgirl.
Yeah, but that was a good show too. For it's too bad that they quit on that show because that show was.
come on.
And then they tried Batgirl, you remember?
But like Batgirl sucked.
Oh,
We tried to watch that show with we tried to make fun of it with our friends.
but it was so bad. I just couldn't.
We couldn't
take
watch it. It was just such garbage shit.
You know what it is? It's I think in this day and age, and actually my father brought this up, what Hollywood's doing is that they're giving everybody this chance where, oh, come on, every male hero has their moment. Come on, let's give the females a try out to please the masses. And I'm like, all right, fine.
But back to what we were saying
Yeah.
before. Ask Zach about my Arrow costume for Halloween.
His Arrow costume is so cool.
Yeah, I definitely think Arrow was the best show that the CW produced, especially with how it tackled Oliver Queen in a way that we never saw before. Because
Agreed.
we never saw him like
That's
this
why
serious character that has scars and them going through. Like we were on a journey with this character with
it's
the
like
flashbacks.
you could not get sick of the show. They always left it as part when you came down. You have failed this city, and just that
yeah,
voice. I
the
was like,
father's
oh,
book.
What
Yeah.
you guys think of, what I was going to ask, what you guys think of Supergirl?
Okay, I loved the first two seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, the rest was just pretty met to me. I think they tackled her really well. I love the fact that she has chemistry with Barry because those two were like when they were together, there was magic there. Especially when they did that musical. I was a sucker. I didn't know that was gonna do well, but damn, Moon River, you had my heart at Moon River and Super Friends. And that was just such great stuff. Such great stuff.
And now there's one thing I like to do also that we got to do.
What?
The replicas of the Marvel and DC versions. The spin-offs, the rip-offs, just to compete with each other.
That's
Oh,
What do you
yeah.
think the worst rip-off characters are that they ripped off? Like the most similar?
Oh, there's this spider guy. He's like arachnid spider or something. This motherfucker was in Young Justice. I'm like, you motherfuckers trying to make a Spider-Man dollar store crap shit. It was so.
Actually,
He's
they
played
did something.
by the same voice actor too. The guy that they ripped off the spider, the arachnid spider character from DC. He's played by the guy who plays Spider-Man in the Insomniac games. I thought that was so.
Oh, it's hysterical.
Really?
And now,
Yeah, the guy on Young Justice when they introduced the character. I checked; it was the same voice actor that does the Insomniac games.
No way. Which character? Which season? Which episode was that in Young Justice?
I think it was one of the newer. I think it was like the newer seasons of Young Justice because I just remember I could be wrong. It could be a different DC show, but like I do remember seeing a ripoff character like that played by him. I think it was Young Justice. I'm pretty sure. The
'Cause,
newer
like-
seasons.
Oh, okay. Because like the other TV show that they ripped off Spider-Man, and I was gonna say Batman off
Invincible.
of Invincible, yeah, where he's going through all the different dimensions and he sees like a Spider-Man. Like,
Yeah, and another fun fact, also played by the same voice actor that does. It's Spectacular Spider. Not Insomniac.
yeah.
oh, really?
Yep.
I think so. He
And what
didn't
do you think?
sound. Yeah, it was.
Out of all the animated series of Spider-Man, you know, the animated series, all the other ones, what do you think was the best Spider-Man series that they accomplished the most?
If I may, just quickly, I like to say the 1994 Spider-Man show, Christopher Daniel Barnes. That I grew up with ever since I was in preschool.
Yeah, I agree with
I-
that. I actually
Yeah. Here's the thing. I think in terms of nostalgia and classic and like really cool shit, it's absolutely that Spider-Man. In
Yeah.
terms of modern and unique, I want to say Spectacular Spider-Man because we got the most pure evil version of Norman Osborn in Spectacular Spider-Man. So I hold those two in such great regards, but I do have to agree with Christopher on this one. You can't beat the classicness of that show and what it did. My
course, of
only
course.
complaint of that
Everything.
show was that they just reused a lot of old clips and material, and they basically were like, you missed a few episodes. Here's every episode in the next span of 3 episodes. I was
And
like,
Zach, that's what we were saying
just
before.
watch.
That's what
I
we
was
were
just-
saying before.
Yeah. So like I think Spectacular Spider-Man also has that edge because it doesn't do that. It goes into this great lore of villains and you're instantly caught up with everything without having to go back or watch anything. And you're just sucked into this beautiful animated world. And I just think that that's why it holds a little bit more, just because of that problem with the old show is that there's too many flashbacks. We get it. It's one thing to do it in one episode to get us up to speed, but like we caught up to speed. We're binge watching this now. We don't need to have these flashbacks because like it just didn't age well in that regard. But
And
I
that
still
goes
think
back to yesterday's episode, Zach. Remember how, well, not yesterday's, 2 episodes when we filmed this before, how we were saying Hollywood's running out of ideas.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think that 97 was a great show, by the way, because that ideas keep going, and I don't think it's running out of ideas, if I may say. I just think they're hiring really lazy people who don't want to do the work, or they're hiring certain people with point of views that are critical. So they're not going in this wanting to do the right thing. They're like, I want to put my I'm Republican Democrat beliefs. I want to put it in there. I want to put gender equality in there. I want to make this all focused on this without having anything to do with the real material.
Not like
That's
Endgame.
really what it
That was a
is.
masterpiece.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
can't just throw these stuff at us and expect us to love it. You have to give us a reason to love this
Yeah.
character. Give us
And
a
now
reason
what
to love
about-
this bisexual character or this lesbian. Give us a reason to love the character, not just because of sexuality or race. Just give us a reason to love the character. Make it good.
And
That's
now
it.
what
Don't
about you
slap
have to
it
watch
on it
the
and call it
TV shows? What about watching the TV shows now to understand the movies?
Here's the thing. They're not even doing that. Because if you look at Loki, yes, everything that's like Falcon and Winter Soldier and Moon Knight, they're not connected to the main story. So I love Moon Knight. I love Moon Knight.
Oh, it was great.
That was probably still one of the most highest reviewed shows that we ever did,
Yes.
next to WandaVision and Loki. But
Yeah.
like,
WandaVision was great.
I was gonna say because I agree with you on that because I watched WandaVision. That was awesome storyline,
Yeah.
and it connected to Doctor Strange, which I love that they did that. I really appreciate.
The Multiverse of Madness. That was a great movie.
Yeah, my biggest problem with that was that they've put a lot of false into the movie. Like, oh my God, you're gonna get multiverse? Well, here you go. You're gonna get all these secret characters and expect everything, and then like nothing really.
And guys,
they pretty much gave the Illuminati, where we saw
years since that movie came out.
Black Bolt,
So-
Reed Richards, and Professor X.
And just so we don't get hate, I want to say that movie's been out for how many years so far? So if you haven't seen it,
2 years.
I'm sorry, but
and it's good.
time
I'm not
spoil
trying to
it.
shit on it. Yeah, I'm not trying
No,
to shit
I'm
on
saying
it.
for
It's
the
just
people that watch the videos, Nick, just in
right,
case
right.
they haven't seen it, but it's been out for a while, so
Yeah.
if you haven't seen it yet, it's time.
It's
if
highly
you want.
too.
Yeah,
it's
I still like
I
it.
will still absolutely recommend that movie because even though it falsely delivers on what it's supposed to do, in terms of story, it's great. I think the story's just
It
great.
did connect to WandaVision, though.
Yeah.
Did
I'm
connect
especially
to
how they showed our
WandaVision.
kids.
That's the other thing too. What I liked about like some of Disney's off-boot spin-off shows is that some of the ones, like you said, were connected to the main story. The other thing too is like I have watched. I try to watch Moon Knight, and and I understand. Like what it is. The only reason why I know Moon Knight, and that was from the. Did you guys ever watch that remember that Avengers TV series, cartoon TV show they did years ago?
Avengers Assemble?
Yes. So in that one,
Marvel shows, by the way, I still think that show should have gotten another season, and I will never forgive Disney for abandoning that show for a show that's supposed to be MCU themed. I'm sorry, Avengers Assemble was such a fantastic show.
I know, and the only reason why I knew Moon Knight was from that last season where the Beyonder put everyone on that battle world, and because the thing is, you see what Disney now is trying to do is they're trying to put a lot of because Moon Knight is part of like a side hero, like
Streets.
Yeah, and they're doing a lot of these side heroes now that are supposed to be connected in the same universe. And I'm like, okay, but is the story going to fit? Because actually, I was going to go back to what you were saying about the whole, script and whatever. Like, give us a character you like. I agree with that. My father actually said is the problem what Disney is doing is they're hiring writers and people who I wouldn't say maybe they're not lazy, but they have no enthusiasm for the shows. And because
they're just taking a paycheck and leaving.
And
passionate.
and they're trying to do it for I think they're doing it for PR reasons. Because it's because they're trying to appeal to everybody in those communities. Like, just you're a writer and you're black. Okay, we want to hire you. You're gay. Okay, we want to hire you as a writer.
Zach, you gotta watch what you say on here. We're gonna get canceled.
Well, no, but he's right though. Listen, there's nothing wrong with having these characters that are diverse, but you have to write them in a way that makes sense. You just can't do a Kathleen Kennedy like put tits on it and make it gay or whatever. You have to actually. That's a quote from Eric Cartman from South Park that actually did an episode based on woke culture and movie shows, which I highly recommend. But
I remember.
It's just you need to make characters that are relatable, that go through their shit that you can build on. That's what people want to see.
Yeah,
people want to see the actual character and feel the realism into it, because there are bisexual characters, there are gay characters, there are black characters that are really relatable because they're done
Morales.
Exactly, they're done right.
Miles Morales is probably one of the best Spider-Mans there is.
What I'm going to say about Miles Morales is I know why he's really was in the universe, right? Peter died. They wanted to be woke. And that's actually one of the reasons why I personally stopped reading the Ultimate Company, was because they were going into a direction that I didn't agree with. But I will say this: they did a great job with Miles Morales in the movie Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah,
That's
that was
what
a masterpiece.
Yeah.
That's when I
And
was
across the
like,
Spider-Verse.
this is what Miles should have been in the Ultimate Universe. A relatable character that you actually got to know, instead of just slapping him in there and giving me these powers with no real
It explains his
direction or anything.
story.
Exactly. It was so great. And especially what they did with the Across the Spider-Verse,
Yes.
where it was like you weren't meant to be Spider-Man, and like they show you how he wasn't, but like he still accepted it.
And it's like so all connected to the first movie, like
Yeah.
how Spot was created.
Yeah, consequences. It sets up consequences and events that I think they did so well in. I'm so excited for this.
What
Yeah,
about
Spider-Verse,
who do you
yes.
think's the best Spider-Man?
Oh, Peter Parker.
Yeah.
I'm
so
talking
sorry.
about
a
actor-wise.
Riley King fan or something. I just think Peter. Listen, Peter has not been done right in the mainline continuity, but like, damn, bro, Ultimate Spider-Man's beautiful. He's still written really well in different comics, in media. I still think Tom Holland's did a great job. Toby's still number one. Andrew's fantastic. Like, Peter Parker is still a great Spider-Man. It's still the best one because not nostalgia. He's still relatable, and they still care about him, and he still has his whole shit. Like, he's still struggling, he still overcomes. I don't think 616 is doing a good job with him, at least in the mainline comics, but everything else. Yes, but we're not going to talk about Zell.
Yeah, I know.
And what about the video
But
games?
I still think Peter Parker's still the most relatable character, and still the best character
easily.
that Stan Lee has ever did. I still think that he's
He's
still going to be a
definitely
character.
got a story behind him, which I like. You know, every
Yes.
Spider-Man movies I've seen, and even comic books, always caught my attention. There was nothing ever dull in a Spider-Man comic that I read so far.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Do not read a comic book that has a certain diversity to it, which is not canon. And all I'm going to say is that it involves Gwen Stacy and Green Goblin. That's all I'm going to say.
I already know.
We don't want to talk about that.
I didn't
Everyone
like
has
that. I did not approve that.
comics that so not be named. I will never name that series.
We're not even though that actor in the movie when that happened was a good actor.
No, it was really funny. That comic is still like the worst Spider-Man comic of all time, and I still will not. I will. I don't want to say.
Which comic was that?
I don't want to say its name. I really don't want to say his name. All I'm gonna say is that apparently Gwen was cheating on Peter with Norman Osborn, and she had her kid, and that's actually why he wanted to kill her, because she was carrying his children, and her children come back to try and kill Peter, and it turns into this crazy shit, but they retconned it, so it doesn't matter.
Okay.
At the same time, there's different ways that she has. All right, let's not talk about it as you say. Let's
that's
keep that
enough.
respect. And now, what do you think the best Marvel video game is, including the Lego games?
Oh. I mean, there's some great choices. I mean, I will say Lego Marvel Superheroes, the first one, is definitely one of my favorites. Because they have they have all, like, a lot of the Marvel characters, basically
roster is
almost all the
insane.
characters, which I love and I appreciate that. Even the villains, they got a large amount of the villains. I really appreciate that.
I'm gonna go with Ultimate Alliance 1.
Yes,
And-
that was my game. I still have it on the Xbox.
Yeah,
Really?
it's still the most. I'm getting
I was playing
it
it
for
last
PS.
night, believe it or not.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they relaunched it on like Xbox and PS4, but that was like limited time. So I'm
Yeah.
super
Got
jelly.
it on the
I'm
Xbox.
super jelly of that.
Yeah.
And there's also Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions, which was great.
That's the best Spider-Man. Next to Spider-Man. And
Oh.
Ultimate.
All right, everyone's gonna hate me on this, and I'm not gonna lie, but I had fun with the Amazing Spider-Man game.
No, that was good. Amazing. Wait, which one? One or two?
The first one was fun.
Okay.
The
I
second
like
one,
both of them.
the second one. Wait, you didn't let me finish. The second one was fun. The opening definitely caught your attention when you're rescuing Gwen Stacy out of there.
You
Definitely.
can also play as Stan Lee. You can play as Stan
Oh,
Yeah, that is true.
that was
already a
fun.
game with the
Oh,
Rhino.
Sorry to interrupt, guys.
Even the
Did you
remake.
guys? I was gonna ask, did you guys remember that old GameCube Spider-Man? It was I think it was called Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Did you guys play that?
Remember that
I
game?
fucked with that game
I loved
all
it.
the time. That
Yes.
was PS2 for me. I had it for the PS2. I loved it.
Yeah, me too.
And Tobey Maguire, just all those movie characters with original story. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, I love it so much.
It's you gotta have a good story in order
Yeah.
to play the
Yeah.
game these days.
You
Well,
gotta have it.
And how it was all Mysterio who
Yeah,
took control of all the villains.
I thought that was great. That's the second time it was a villain, a
Yeah.
main villain, I
Yeah.
should say. In
along with Shattered
and that.
Dimensions.
oh, that's what the
Yeah.
first one was.
Because like I was gonna say, the problem, like, you know what it is? I saw the game. I didn't play it, but I saw the gameplay for the new Avengers video game that they had.
Zach, it sucked.
Oh, yeah.
The gameplay
Sucks.
looks cool.
I'll save it the time.
Well, here's the problem, though, and I don't know if I don't know if you two are going to want to agree. I don't know if all three of you are going to disagree with me or not. But the problem is that the game looks great and the story missions look cool, especially the DLCs. The problem
Mhm.
I was reading online about it was that, again, I don't want to say any like articles that I read about because of probably because of copyright stuff, but I will say.
Right.
But what I noticed is this is a common theme with some of those Marvel games is that the older video games that you were all talking about were fun because they were so replayable. The problem with the newer Marvel games now is that they're playable, but when you beat them, they get so repetitive and it gets boring at that point.
What I think Avengers' biggest problem was, and this is just a me thing, is that there really wasn't a replayability. Every level played the same. There wasn't one level that you can go into and be like, I just did this. Like, I literally said out loud, like, I just fucking did this shit. Why am I doing it again? I
Yeah.
shouldn't have to do this again. And why was Hawkeye facing the Maestro? That's just fucking stupid. I'm sorry. Like, I think the story was cool, but like,
A lot of the
you could-
storyline didn't make sense.
you could have had anyone fight the Maestro, but Hawkeye. No, thank you. I'm sorry, but that just did not make sense to me.
Yeah.
It just kind of got boring, and like I stopped playing as soon as I beat the game for the MODOK shit. Like, I beat it, and then like they had Spider-Man. I'm like, oh, cool, Spider-Man, let's do this.
You
He's
got
gonna play
excited
so
for
good.
nothing.
Yeah. I was like, oh, he's gonna play so good. I'm back playing. I play him for like an hour. I'm like, yeah, fuck this. I returned my game to GameStop. I'm like, yeah, fuck this game. It's like I
Yeah.
wasted like $60 on this Ultimate Edition. It's fucking shit. It's donkey shit.
It's not even just that. One of the main problems with the DLC packs is that, and they started. Well, the reason why I think they did all those DLC packs was because they wanted to go through the storyline of each major hero. Like when they did that one version where the Hulk, he goes in the future and Hulk is like an old guy. He has the beard and he's like
Yeah,
a tyrant.
Maestro.
I think there was an original comic book version of that where Hulk in the future, the Earth gets destroyed, Hulk ages
Yeah.
and he just becomes a tyrant.
That-
There is, I think, a classic
That's
one of
the-
that.
Yes, it's the Maestro.
Okay, because like
It's
I
basically
never,
like Old Man Logan kind of style, but it's basically him taking over the Earth and becoming and like fun fact, Maestro in Italian is God, so he becomes the Earth's god, and
Oh.
he like teams up with Doctor Doom, but then he like betrays Doctor Doom and takes over and everything. He becomes this powerful killer that kills all the surviving Marvel characters, and he has this trophy room where he's all there's like a comic panel with him just sitting on a throne with all the hero stuff, and it's like a little Find Waldo kind of thing. He's a really great character, and I think he's one of the best versions of the Hulk, if I'm going to be honest here. But the problem is that they didn't really use him that well. They threw him in there because they thought it was going to be really cool. It's like, yeah, how cool would it be if Hawkeye can shoot an arrow up his ass? Yeah, sure. People believe he can shove it up his ass. Great. They do that. No one likes it. It's like, bro, I'd rather see Ant-Man go up his ass. You know what I'm saying? That's just what.
That's
but like,
disrespectful to Ant-Man. That's one of my favorite superheroes. Don't disrespect him like that.
one Yeah. I wanted to ask you
I
something
feel
real
he's a
quick.
little underrated.
He is. Ant-Man's
Yeah.
very underrated.
I mean, especially considering the fact he did start the original Avengers.
and
with the
in
Wasp.
and in the MCU, he did save the multiverse.
Yeah.
Well, the multiverse. Well, yeah, Ant-Man the Wasp, he saved his universe, but like he also saved like getting everybody back to everything because he
Mhm.
came back from the quantum realm. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
underrated.
And now,
And of course, he
Another
just took on
question.
Kang.
A
do you
version.
think
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. is really done with Iron Man?
No, he
No.
wants money. He's like, I want big money. I want to be in
They
the
pay him a
suit again.
fat check. You think he's coming back?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I
You
would
give
love to see him back anyway.
you give him
as a
lots
variant.
of zeros. Lots
Yeah.
lots of zeros. Give
What
that man
about
lots of
Secret Wars?
Yeah.
How do you think that's
zeros. You
gonna
have
be?
to put him. You have
They
to put him.
say
in
it's gonna be one of the biggest rosters in a
excited for that.
movie.
Yeah.
think that-
We
Definitely
got a
something
long way to go, though.
is hinting towards that. I
Yeah,
What
really
about
like.
Bucky getting
like
the
the
shield
shirt, you should
instead?
check
What
it
about?
out.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
we're seeing this on June 25th.
And now, what do you think about Falcon getting the shield instead of Bucky?
Oh.
Okay,
Mm.
I'm so mixed about that because they flopped it in the comics too. And what sucks is that in the comic they really were like, here, you're the new Captain America, and they worked really hard to build him up, and then Steve Rogers came back, and now it's like, well, there's two of them. What was the point of that? You know, when they did Bucky as Captain America in the comics, it worked so fantastically well, and then with the MCU, they were like, let's make you hate the Shield, right? Where you hate this so much, you're not gonna want to be it, but you're gonna be it. Like you're just gonna throw it. Say you want to throw it away. Say you hate it, and then you're gonna be it. And then Bucky, you don't want to be it, but you're too much fucked up in the head to be it. So you're gonna want it, but not have it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can work with that. That's kind of where that. I'm. I don't think there's a problem as long as this movie really makes him like feel like Captain America and makes him embrace who he is as a character. I'm cool with it. I don't have any problems with it. I just hate how they did it because Endgame, man, I loved how he said like it's yours. Take this and carry my legacy, and then he just throws it away. I'm like, bro, you don't do that. Don't do
Yeah.
that. And then make this like a redemption arc bullshit.
Yeah, that even Bucky was upset that he
Yeah,
did
I
it.
like-
he
Threw it
gave
away.
you the shield, man. You have such a great relationship with him during this whole thing. Why ruin it? We were.
I like the
psyched
end of
for it.
Civil War too.
Especially when he gave it to a man who ended up putting blood on it.
Yeah, it's just.
I like, yeah.
Dude,
I like the
Civil War
fact that
was
they gave him the
awesome.
shield though. At the end of Civil War,
Yeah.
when Iron Man was like, "My father made that," and Cap just threw it right at him as like the biggest "fuck you."
Oh yeah. Well,
Fuck your dad.
Yeah,
fuck
fuck
your
you.
and this
That
is
was one of the best videos, but as of now, we're gonna end it.
yeah.
It was good speaking to you guys. Make sure, guys, if you want to see a part 2, make sure you comment in the
Yeah,
comments
we would
part
love to be
2.
back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Chris and Nick, it was an honor having you guys. You're
Yeah.
welcome back
Oh,
It was
yeah,
nice
great
thank,
talk.
thank you so
Being on
much for
here.
having us. We'd love to come back as a regular.
Yeah.
Great
anytime.
talking, guys.
All right, like always, I'm Anthony Michael. I'm signing out.
And I'm
Uh,
Morpheus, King of the
Go
Red
sub
and
the
Blue.
Marvel Talk
Show.
with Nick and Chris.
Yeah.
All right.
Nick
And we'll
and
catch
Chris,
you guys
you
on
guys
the
have
next
a nice
episode.
day.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Thanks so much. We hope to see you guys around.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Later,
All right,
guys.
later.
Later,
Later.
brothers.